Welcome to Simon's Smoke Shack, everyone. Today we're going to do a Turkish lamb Adana kebab. 2 teaspoons of table salt, 1 teaspoon of smoked paprika, 1 teaspoon of black pepper, 1 teaspoon of ground coriander, 1 teaspoon of ground cumin, 2 teaspoons of sweet Turkish pepper flakes, 1 teaspoon of hot chili powder, 1 heaped tablespoon of Turkish pepper puree. You can use tomato puree. The pepper puree is just a little bit sweeter, that's all, if you can get hold of it. Half a cup of fresh mint leaves, 1 hot chili, jalapeno, 3 cloves of garlic, 1 red bell pepper, a sweet one, 1 large onion, I've got 2 smaller ones here, and a good amount of parsley. Probably going to use about half of that. Roughly chop up your garlic, very roughly. Put it into a little mini food blender. Red jalapeno chili, again just roughly chop that. Put that into there as well. Red bell pepper. Again, roughly chop it. Pop that into there as well. Alright, you want to blitz that up, but don't want it too fine, you don't want to mush. You want to keep some pieces in there really. So just a quick one. That's it, just like that really. You've still got some nice bits in there. I'm going to pop that into a bowl. Got some other bits to blitz, but we don't want to overload it and make it too small. You want to keep it nice little chunks like that. And do the same with your 2 medium onions. Roughly chop them. Put them in your food processor. And give those a little blitz up as well. Again, you don't want too much of a mush, so just a little bit. Perfect, just like that. Pop that in with your peppers. Right, so we've got half a cup fresh mint leaves, picked off the stalks. Just roughly chop those up. To the mint, I've had probably about half of this bunch of parsley. I'll take the very thick bits of the stalks away. Take the top bit. Roughly chop this. I'm going to pop that into the food processor as well. I want to give it just a little light whizzing. You don't want it all mush again. Apart from that stalk, that's about right. Nice bits. So put your chop parsley and mint into the same bowl. The rest of your bits you've just done. Now, one of the biggest mistakes people make when they try to make Adana is they make them too juicy. All this is full of juice, and there is a lot of juice in that, which we need to get out. So grab a tea towel, clean one, ideally. Take all this, put it into that. Remember, this is just the stuff we've done. There's no water added, no juice added, just the stuff we've just chopped up in that. You're going to be amazed. This is what makes your Adanas fall off when you try to cook them. Some people go, oh, I'll put eggs in it, I'll do this, I'll do that. Just get your juice out. Look at that. That's not flavour. That's just what's going to wreck your meal. There's no flavour in that. Your flavour's all in the tea towel. Just keep going. And that, as you can see, is a lot of juice that you don't want. What you're now left with is a pretty much dry mix. That's what you're looking for. Right, there's a kilo of mince I've done earlier on. That's a leg of lamb, deboned, freshly minced. You can see how coarse it is. It's on the coarse setting. If you can do it like this, it makes all the difference. Supermarket mince is going to be too fine, it's going to be too old, it's not going to give you the texture you want, that sort of bite you get, you know, in a good Adana. So if you can mince your own meat or get a butcher to mince it while you wait on a coarse setting, it will make so much difference. Don't get the supermarket stuff that's vac packed. It's no good. So you've got a kilo of lamb mince in there. Now we're going to put our dried out herb onion mix that we've just done into there. Looking good. Now it's time to put all the herbs in from earlier on. And your puree. Give that a little tiny mix up. Now at this point you can go in with your hands and mix it. You have to mix it hard. You've got to get it so it becomes sticky, like my Adana Kebab recipe from before. So you want to be mixing that by hand for maybe 10 minutes or so you get a nice sticky consistency. What I'm going to do is whack it in the can with Chef. I've just got the K-beater in there. Start it off nice and slow, and it will incorporate. Smells really good. You should be able to see it start to come together after a couple of minutes. It won't take long with the mixer. It's not like you're doing it by hand. And again, you don't want to over mix it, just until it all comes together and it becomes sticky, tacky to the touch, and it's ready to go. As you can see, that's starting to stick to the bowl rather than being thrown around in the bowl. And you've got a nice sticky consistency. Okay. That's what you're looking for. So that's the sort of consistency you're looking for. It's gone sticky, tacky, but you can still see all the parts. You can see your herbs, you can see the bits of onion, bits of pepper. So that's going to give you a nice texture, nice sort of crunch when it's cooked. Pop that into the fridge for a couple of hours and then we can skewer it up. I'm actually going to leave this one overnight because I've run out of time now, and I'll continue with it tomorrow. Right, welcome back. This has been in the fridge overnight. So a couple of hours is fine, but I didn't have time to finish it, so that's your mix again. Now we've got some long, flat, thick skewers, which is what you need. If you use thin skewers, it will just fall off. So grab your skewer, grab a bit of meat, don't want to make them too big. You want about the size of a tennis ball, maybe slightly smaller. Grab your skewer, start at the top, feed it on, and work it down. Turn it over if you need to. You want to squash it down and work it down at the same time. When it comes out of the sides, push it back in at the sides. Just keep working it slowly like that. When you're happy that it's length you want and it's equal on both sides of the skewer, not a load of meat on one side, make some dimples in it, and that's it, that's done. That's on your skewer, as you can see. I'll do the rest on your skewers and pop them back in the fridge for an hour to set while you're firing up your barbecue. A little trick with these, you want to get that sort of ladder effect by pressing it with your thumb as you go along. If you can't do that at the start, it's quite difficult until you get the hang of it. You can use a wooden spoon. You can go along and just push that in all the way along. Turn it over, do the same on the other side, and that, when it's cooked, will give you that ladder effect. So that's all the kebabs made up. Shed load there, one per person is probably enough. That's a kilo of meat. What that costs you in a kebab shop? Absolute fortune. It's time to fire up the barbecue and get these babies cooking. Today we're going to go on the PK Go, I think. Always good for skewers, that one. So at this point you can pop these in the fridge until you're ready to fire up, but because it's so cold at the moment, it's, I think, 5 or 6 degrees here. It's the same temperature as the fridge, so I'm happy to leave these out until we've got the charcoal ready to go. Fired up a little PK Go tonight with some beautiful Turkish oak charcoal. It's got to be done if you're having a Turkish kebab. Turkish charcoal. Right, the Adana kebabs are going on now. The key to these is don't let them cook too much on one side. If you let them cook too much, what will happen is the meat on the opposite side will start to sweat, and then the meat will fall off under its own weight. You've got to keep turning them. Every 30 seconds, turn them until the meat is set and hardened. So there's one more to go on there, but that'll do for now. So literally starting to see them smoke. There you go, cooking. Turn them. If you leave them any longer, they will fall off. Don't worry about eggs, flour and all that stuff. You don't need it. Just follow this technique and make them the same as I've done them. It's 5 degrees in the shack tonight. Another 30 seconds, turn them. See, they're cooking and they're staying on the skewer. That was a bit close. Ouch, ouch, ouch. Come back to that in a minute. Right, still turning these, starting to cook. Lovely. It's starting to sweat a bit now, fat's coming out. It's going to give it all that flavour as it hits the charcoal. It won't take long to cook because of the thickness of the skewers and the heat they're on, they're going to cook from the inside, from the heat of the skewer also. So just keep checking it with your thermopen or whatever you've got. Starting to really get the aroma come off of them now, and you can see, well I hope you can see just there, it's starting to bubble up, the fat and the juices, you can see it's cooking. Yeah, you can see that on the camera, that's good. There you go, that's what we're looking for. Nice charring. So now they're at the stage where they're not going to fall off now. Because you've kept turning them and they're at that stage, they're going to stay on their skewers now. So you're just going to cook to temp. Because it's mince, you want to cook these to 75 centigrade internal. Just take them off and rest them for a couple of minutes before you put them on top of your kebab. So we're still turning them, cooking up nicely. Turn, turn. Lovely, beautiful bit of char in that. This is a new one I just put on because I couldn't fit them all on. So that's just starting to cook as the others did. It's cooking up nice. Just going with the thermopen now, see what we're up to. 60 degrees. Remember, you don't want to go in too far. You don't want to hit the skewer. You want it on the meat. You don't want to be testing the skewer temperature. So 62. Another minute or two, and they'll be there. Right, we're up to temp now. 68, 67. They're going to continue. 73. They're going to continue cooking on the skewer if we leave them for a couple of minutes. So we take those off. No, they're looking good. Look at that. They're looking good. Just going to pop on a couple of naans. Get the flavour of the meat coming through. Just leave those for 40 seconds aside, maybe, if that. This is really scorching hot. You need that to cook the kebabs quickly so they don't sweat and drop. All that flavour dropping onto the charcoal. Also flavouring the pita breads there. So you want all that lovely juice into the pita breads. So there you go. And again. Beautiful. Lovely bit of Adana. Let's chop that up. Looks good. Let's try a little bit. Oh, oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Doesn't that look good? A little bit of lemon. And to finish it off, good quality chilli sauce. It's got to be done. Kebab Co. It's a good one. A little bit of chilli over the top. And that is better than any kebab shop. I can guarantee you. You make it that way, you'll love it.